Hello, gamer. Welcome. Mithrian. You changed your name? Ah, nice. I like it. Ooh. My thoughts. Let me look that up. I am doing alright. I went out to eat. So I had a delicious Japanese food dinner, which I was very full from, but it's settled now. Yeah, I ate a lot of chicken and spicy chicken and mushrooms and little fried mochi with red bean paste inside, which were really good. Yeah, I'm not too huge on sushi, but the other stuff I really like. How are you doing? Hanging in there. Ooh. I'm excited to see it. Alright, well, let's not keep you waiting then. Let's switch over to live view and let's get into it. My baby Goyle. Good news, Dwashe. Thancred and Urianger have finished their tour of Garlemald and are on their way back here even as we speak. As we still haven't heard anything on the towers from the Alliance, I'm hoping they might be able to shed some light on things. Hell yeah. They're due to arrive any moment now, so let's see what they have to say, eh? Sure. Ah, welcoming party. You needn't have gone to the trouble. From what I hear, you've been more than busy enough as it is. Honestly, you might have waited for me to return before discovering a cure for tempering. As it is, I can't even pretend to have been involved. Well, if it's any consolation, I myself was little more than a spectator. The lion's share of the credit must go to Alize, Graha, and Dwashe. But I believe I speak for the rest of us when I say we are proud to have rendered what little assistance we could. As you will have also heard, though, it hasn't all been tales of triumph. Just as we were taking a step towards finally addressing the primal threat, a pile of fresh problems landed in our lap. Anyway, it's good to have you back, though I can't help noticing that we're one Urianger short of a scouting party. You haven't lost him, have you? Oh, I couldn't lose him if I tried. And I did try, repeatedly. But no, he decided to linger in Alamigo to apprise Roban and the others of how the land lies in Garlemald. Then mayhap you would do the same for us? Don't act like you're not married, sir. Indeed, it was just as Lise said. Worse, in fact. Devastation as far as the eye could see. Nerva and the Third, however, were notable by their absence. Might they have met their end at the hands of Xenos and Fandaniel? Perhaps. Or perhaps they simply lost the will to fight. You see, the capital has been plunged into a deathly silence, with one exception, the Imperial Palace. It was a busy place before the war, but it has grown busier still, with throngs of soldiers and civilians working there day and night to rebuild, or rather, transform it. Transform it? Into what? That is a difficult question to answer. The construction is vast and unsettling to behold, like something from a nightmare. According to Urianger, certain aspects of its design were clearly devised with the manipulation of ether in mind. Magitech, in other words. Yet, as unnerving as said edifice was, it was nothing next to the sight of its builders. They swarmed the place like so many insects, working with nary a word exchanged between them. No one overseeing construction, no one barking orders. It was as if they were possessed or tempered. I want to investigate more closely, but given our suspicions, it seemed wiser not to take the risk. If Fandaniel could bind Bahamut to his will, might he have done the same to the people of Garlemald? Whatever the truth may be, this information is certain to prove valuable. You'll have our thanks. Well, be sure to save some for Urianger. Which reminds me, I have a message from Alamigo. Ralban is hosting a meeting to discuss the latest findings on the towers, and he requested our presence. Then why not leave that to us? You must be weary from your mission. No, I'm fine. Those towers have been on my mind since I first spied one on the way back, and I'm keen to get to the bottom of this. In that case, I shall stay and begin looking into another matter, as I promised Kral. We need not all attend. Very well, I suggest the rest of us make our way to Alamigo forthwith. The sooner we leave, the more time we will have to speak with Urianger before the meeting. I remember when this patch came out very vividly because it was just a crowd around Urianger and I could not see him. It was so bizarre. Yeah, they all love him. My friends, much more have I heard of your travails in our absence. Heartened am I to see you all hale and whole. As are we to see you safely returned from your mission, Urianger. I trust Thancred made you feel welcome. Well, if it isn't Alphino and his merry band. Hey, this guy. Arenvald. Arenvald, whatever are you doing here? When we spoke via Link Pearl, you told me you'd be away on a mission. And who's to say this isn't part of it? But enough about that. It's good to see you looking so similar. I thought you'd have grown a bit taller after a whole year in another world, but apparently not. Well, I'm sorry to disappoint you. While my soul may be a year older, my body has hardly aged, as you are well aware. And may I remind you that we Elysian are known to be late bloomers, especially in terms of our height. Mark my words, the day will come when even a great Aurok such as yourself will crane your neck to meet my eye. Aye, 'twas not until my 20th summer that I myself outgrew my boyish proportions, though Moonbrida towered over me nonetheless. Arenvald brings out the best in Alphino, doesn't he? They both seem so at ease in each other's company. It's almost endearing. So, what exactly brings you here? Oh, for Dola, mostly. We need to go over a few things before we set out. Set out? Wait, does this have something to do with the towers? Eh? What gave you that impression? Actually, tell me later. You've got a meeting to go to. I'll see you afterwards, alright? If Ferdola is going with him, that must mean... My apologies. As Arenvald rightly pointed out, we have a meeting to attend. Let us be about it. We're not all gonna collapse again.
Ere we begin, I would like to offer my gratitude to Masters Thancred and Urianger. Tis no small feat to infiltrate the Imperial capital and live to tell the tale, much less in times of civil war. Thanks to them, we may plot our course in full knowledge of how the winds blow in Garlemald.
Full glad are we to have been of service. But verily, such dangers as we did encounter pale into insignificance next to those faced by our comrades. An Ascian, armed with the might of Bahamut, bent on bringing about the final days.
Theatrics. He sought only to make a show of the power at the Teleforoi's disposal. But since then we have seen no sign of this Fandaniel or his worm. And while we've done what we can to bolster our defenses, there's no telling where he might strike next.
Whenever and wherever it may be, we must use the intervening time to learn more of our enemy. 'Twas with this in mind that we dispatched scouts to investigate the towers.
Our advance party took longer than expected to return. And when they did, they tried to kill us. Luckily, I'd seen that sort of thing before, and we were able to restrain them before they did any harm. Then it was just a matter of letting the Porksies do their work.
Are you saying they were tempered?
Once they'd come back to their senses, they told us everything they could. It seems that just as they were getting close to the tower, they heard an ear-splitting roar. And that was the last thing they remembered. But what worries me most is what they were saying right before they attacked. Glory be to Garlemald.
The Tempered have heretofore ever been thralls to primal entities. Yet these hapless souls were compelled to accept a nation as the object of their devotion. This calleth into question all that we know of the condition.
Would that the unsettling news ended there. Alas, there is more. Following the earlier reports of missing Amalja, we have learnt that other beast tribes have suffered similar losses. And we now have reason to believe that the abductions are connected to the appearance of the towers. Our scouts sighted black-garbed figures leading shackled Ixal in the direction of the tower in Dravania. The Temple Knights were able to intercept them before they could reach their destination, liberating the Ixal and apprehending their captors, each of whom was found to be equipped with Garlean arms and armor.
So the Empire is the common thread.
With the support of Xenos, it seems likely that Fandaniel has rallied a faction of the splintered Garlean army to the banner of the Telophoroi.
Lord Hien reached the same conclusion when I shared our findings with Doma. The plan had been to march on Garlemald from the east and west in order to force a peace treaty. But the situation has changed. Dealing with the threat of the towers must come first. Given the nature of the enemy and the proven risk of tempering, I could think of few suitable candidates to aid in this task. But I am confident in my choice.
What?
Resistant to primal influence as they are, they can investigate the towers without fear of being turned.
We are glad to put our gifts to use, Commander.
Gifted or not, going behind enemy lines remains a perilous undertaking. But we must know more if we're to strike back at our foe. I'm counting on you.
If it would give us the upper hand, I'd do it 100 times over. We won't let you down.
That concludes the briefing. You two, make ready and join your escort.
Are you certain about this, Arenvold?
I am. Come on, let's talk outside.
What could possibly go wrong? I guess it's redemption arc time, but also I think that collar around her neck is supposed to like blow her head off if she turns against people, so I don't know. That feels a little bit of a forced redemption. If it's smoke talk you're after, look elsewhere. Sorry. Now that it's out in the open, I don't have to keep it under my proverbial hat anymore.
So you know, I've already gone through all the formalities at the Rising Stones. Made sure to inform Jamoldva and Vmar at Ralga's Reach as well.
Arenvold, I admire your enthusiasm, but this is far more dangerous than anything you have done before.
I know the risks. And I also know what's in store if we don't stop Fandaniel from carrying out his plan. With this power of mine, I can make a difference. If I stood idly by, I would regret it for the rest of my life.
And you, Fudola? Is this what you want?
What are you asking me for? It's not like I have any say in the matter.
Don't pretend. We both know Commander Aldin gave you a chance to refuse. And you didn't.
So the Empire's finished, is it? But that's what they're all saying. That the great and glorious Garlemald slit its own throat. And now, from out of its twitching carcass crawls the Telophoroi with bloody Xenos at its head! I fought for Garlemald. Killed for Garlemald. What was I a part of? I need to know. Whatever it is, I need to know.
Yeah, pretty much.
Very well. If your hearts are set on this, I shall not stand in your way.
If you've finished with your touching display of camaraderie, I have a question. Which tower are you planning to investigate, exactly?
Well, the one in Girabani is said to be tightly guarded. It's patrol after patrol out there, apparently. We'd be spotted before we got anywhere near it. Which is why we've set our sights on the one in Pagalthan instead. There shouldn't be anything like as many Imperials to worry about down there.
Even so, I doubt the local Amalja will look kindly on it if they catch you sneaking around in their territory.
Fordola and I had a chance to learn the lie of the land in our previous forays there. We might still find trouble, but at least we won't lose our way. Well, we'd best not keep them waiting any longer.
Mayhap when all of this is over, we could take another trip to Loxeld. I would have you know I've become a rather capable swimmer since our last visit.
Ha! I'll believe that when I see it. Though, to be fair, getting into deep water does seem to be a scion's lot in life. Take care, eh?
You believe Ironvault's supposed to be only 19?
It means a lot, you know. You coming with me?
I'll still owe you for saving my skin, don't I? Can't return the favour if I'm not there.
Big boy.
I dare say you'll get your chance before long. That Fandaniel sounds like a tricky customer. Too much for the likes of me, anyway. But we both know I'd just be another soldier if it weren't for my gift. And I need to be a damn sight more than that given what's coming. I realise I can't hold a candle to a hero like the Warrior of Light or Alphino, for that matter. He might look like he's 12, but he's seen more action than most people see in a lifetime. No, the fact is I'm nothing like them, and maybe I never will be. But I'll be damned if I don't try. They're counting on me. On us. So let's give it our all.
I really like him.
He does not want for conviction, that much is certain. So let us have faith in him. Him and Fordola both. While they see to the towers, I would attend to another task. Chasing down this lunar Bahamut.
Bloody thing. Can you hear me? It's Tataru! I'm happy to say we've managed to find Estinian.
Yay!
And I'm sorry to say he went running off again the moment we told him about Bahamut. But he did mutter something about heading to Ishgard, so if you're quick, you might still be able to catch him.
Even if we set out this instant, he may already have left by the time we arrive. Have her send the Bonanza to Ishgard. It may prove useful should we need to give chase.
This poor man's being hunted down on all sides.
Gladly. I'll see to it as soon as Kryl and I get back to the Rising Stones. Good luck.
While you go off on your dragoon hunt, Urianger and I will return to headquarters. We have much to tell the others.
I wish you every success in your search for our elusive friend. May we all meet again ere long.
Whee! Ba 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 ba. Dragoon hunt, dragoon hunt. So, Estinian was bound for Ishgard. Whatever it is that brings him home, we must hope it will keep him there long enough for us to find him. Come, there's no time to lose. Go, go, go! Run, run, run! Here be dragons, here be dragoons. Is my map all the way over here? All present? Good. Let us split up and search for Estinian. Since we're relatively new to this place, Graha and I will look around the open spaces, the squares and markets and whatnot. You and Dwashe can delve into the nooks and crannies. Very well. Let us reconvene at the airship landing later, with or without Estinian. Good luck. I think I shall begin at the Sky Steel Manufactory, so perhaps you could try the congregation. Lucia may well have heard news of our friend's return. That's the wrong place. Dude, if you keep standing in a doorway, keeping the door open, you're gonna let out all the warm air. It's gonna be freezing in here. Good evening to you, Warrior of Light. Lord Emmerich sent word that you would be attending the meeting in Alamigo, so I gather you have not come in search of him. To what do we owe the pleasure of your visit? I see. No, we were not aware Sir Estinian had returned to Ishgard, but as I expect you remember, he is one to come and go as he pleases. Mayhap he came seeking an audience with Lord Emmerich, only to find him absent. In any event, I'm afraid I cannot help you. Perhaps one of your companions has fared better. Oh boy, if this is the cutscene I think it is.
No sign of him. Not that I've ever met him before, but the way Alphino goes on about him, I'm fairly sure I could pick him out in a crowd.
Oh, it is. Pay attention to this one.
Speaking of which, it does seem awfully quiet. If the erstwhile Azure Dragoon had returned to Ishgard, would it not be a source of general excitement?
First the Scion's Coinkeeper, and now you. I'm beginning to think these meetings are more than mere coincidence. Not that I'm complaining. It's been too long.
Too long?
You look an ilm taller and twice as rugged. It suits you, Alphino. Quieter, though. Have you been giving him lessons on how to be the strong, silent type?
Oh, man.
I am not Alphino! If the two of you are such firm friends, perhaps you should remember what he looks like. And what do you mean, rugged? Ugh! Had my brother mentioned what an oaf you are, I'd never have bothered looking for you in the first place.
Estinian Wormblood, the Azure Dragoon. He who fought and felled the dread worm Nidhogg at the Warrior of Light's side. To think the day would come when I should see this living legend with my own eyes.
He really is.
Would someone mind explaining what is going on?
He's so confused.
Is everything all right? I thought I heard Alize shouting. Estinian! It's been too long. No, it's quite understandable. That was hardly the first time we've been confused for one another. Nor, I suspect, will it be the last.
Well, I, for one, will not be making that mistake again. What I will say, for the second time today, is that you've grown. Inside and out. I can tell.
One can't remain a spoiled little lordling forever, you know.
At least someone's having a good time. You know, when we were growing up, Alphino would never befriend other boys because he couldn't stand the thought of not being in charge. But maybe that's changed. He seems just as happy around Estinian as he does Arenvald.
think he learned how to talk with people rather than at them.
I wouldn't be so sure. He still loves nothing better than the sound of his own voice.
No rest for the righteous, eh? Speaking of which, I was just on my way to borrow an airship to take me to Azis-La.
Azis-La? How could I forget? The dragon with whom Bahamut shared the deepest of bonds.
Aye, Tiamat, his mate. Even now she remains imprisoned on Azis-La, though her remorse binds her faster than any shackle.
I see. As the one who first summoned Bahamut, you believe she may be able to shine some light on his latest incarnation.
Might I suggest that we make the journey to Azis-La together? I'm not sure if Tataru mentioned this, but we Scions have an airship of our own now.
I see no reason why not. Assuming your sister can bear the thought of sharing a deck with me.
Be my guest. But confuse me with Alphino again and I'll throw you overboard. Ugh! I don't know who he thinks he is, but he's nothing like Alphino painted him to be.
I will admit, he is not exactly as I imagined him either. Based on what I had read of the man, I think I was expecting someone a little less blunt.
More cutscenes! It's been quite some time since I last set foot in Azis-La, but I understand the three of you were here rather more recently. I don't suppose you chanced to meet with Tiamat during your visit? Alas not. We had no cause to set foot here in the Delta Quadrant, but I have studied the relevant records, which is not to say I wouldn't appreciate a first-hand account in your dealings with her. Well then, Dweshe is the person to ask. As far as I know, she's the only one of us to have met Tiamat face to face. Even now, she remains a prisoner of the Allagan Empire. Ever since the end of the war with Mare Cydia, yes, to have been held captive for so long. I too have met with Tiamat. After the Dragonstone War came to a close, I came here to speak with her, a worm who had fought her own war against man in another age. I wished to know if she yet harbored thoughts of vengeance, and asked as much. She said no. My hatred for your kind was extinguished long ago. But the guilt she feels for resurrecting Bahamut burns on undimmed. It torments her even now. I see. Then your original reason for coming here was out of concern that Tiamat had been forced to summon Bahamut. Nidhogg is a part of me. I feel his emotions as my own, and I know that he would not allow his sister to be made a tool of evil. In his absence, it falls to me to watch over her. Man. SD, my bestie. Tiamat awaits. This way. Whee. There she is. Big gal. Put that yawl away. My sire's mortal companion, what bringeth thee back to this forsaken place, child of man?
It's plain she knows naught of recent events. Perhaps you should enlighten her.
That my sins should be repeated. I sensed not the faintest stirring. As to who could have called him forth, I know of none save the dragons of Mericidia, our children. The Icon claimed their souls when first he manifested, and robbed of their will, they became tools for the Allagan's dark designs.
I've seen it with my own eyes. Captives of a lost empire, neither alive nor dead, existing only to preserve Bahamut's corporeal form.
Yes, the dragons of Mericidia are at the mercy of this Ascian. There can be no other explanation. Accursed Ascians, vile minions of darkness. Again you would profane the memory of my beloved, and strip our children of their freedom, their dignity. Are there no depths to which you will not stoop? Oops.
Your children's pain means nothing to them. They laugh at your kind suffering. But tears will not right this wrong, nor will lamentation see the perpetrators punished.
What wouldst thou have from me, slayer of dragons?
Behavior befitting a great worm. We came here to ask mighty Tiamat of the First Brood, consort of Bahamut, mother of the dragons of Mericidia, what she intends to do about the crimes committed against her children.
Were I free, I would answer thine insolence with fire. But words shall have to suffice. He's given her tough love. Recall, mortals, that it was I who did first summon my beloved, praying with all my being to bring him forth. You who contend with icons cannot well be ignorant of the consequence.
You too were exposed to his influence. That you are yet in possession of your own will is testament to the indomitable strength of your soul. But were you to meet with Bahamut again, you fear you might succumb.
Indeed. Ask the Dragon Slayer, and he will tell thee the power that we of the First Brood wield. Were I to lose myself to the Icon's influence, all would pay the price. But it is of little matter, for even had I the strength to resist, I yet lack the strength to break my shackles. This prison shall be my tomb.
On the matter of Bahamut's influence, at least, I believe we can be of some assistance. If you're afraid of being enthralled, don't be. We have a cure. And while we've never tried it on one such as you, its basic principles are universal.
Speakest thou in earnest?
There is no future for those bound to the past. That you committed a terrible sin, I do not dispute. But if you feel remorse, you may yet make amends. We offer you that chance. Take it, or you will forever remain a prisoner. Not of these cruel shackles, but of your own guilt.
A chance to make amends, to lay Bahamut's memory to rest. When our own star faced annihilation, Hydaelyn granted us sanctuary, and now your foes would bring about her destruction. This I cannot allow. For the debt I owe to Hydaelyn, and to all who have suffered for my sins, I shall fight with you, children of man. Yay! He's looking at the place on his shoulder where the eye used to be. One of them. While Perxes have been shown to be effective in curing the tempered, Tiamat must be considered a special case. She is far, far larger and immeasurably more powerful than any subject treated thus far. Were we to remove her restraints only to find that the process had failed, we would be hard-pressed to contain her. Then, before going ahead, we should learn as much as we can about the exact nature of her condition. Do you suppose we can find that information here? Why, yes, we can. We can indeed. The Alligans kept detailed records on all of their notable captives, and I know exactly where to look. We shall leave that to you then. In the meantime, the rest of us can turn our thoughts to the removal of those shackles. I know Alphino and Dwashay here well enough, but not you. Are you certain you're ready to see this through? Rest assured, Sir Estinian, that I am both ready and willing to give my all for the sake of this star. Though that is not my only reason for wanting to set Tiamat free. While I do not claim to know all of her sorrows, I too once found myself in a prison of despair, and I well understand how hard it can be to dare to dream of escape. It took the encouragement of braver souls than I am to make me take the first step towards a brighter future, and now I would help Tiamat do the same. I gather you are not as young as you look. Mayhap when our work here is done, we could trade tales over a pot of Tatar's famous tea? And be indebted to her for the leaves and hot water? I think not. I see. Returning swiftly to the task at hand, then. Flirt. Blocked. I believe the nodes governing Tiamat's restraint are located in the sector known as the flagship. Ah, yes, we are familiar with it. The Etherochemical Research Facility in particular. Oh, you may wish to take this, a spirit vessel containing a small amount of my blood. Which you just happen to be carrying around with you. I suppose that could seem rather odd. To explain, Rambrus, Urianger and I are researching the use of spirit vessels in transference not only of memories, but the traits of certain bloodlines, and so I keep one at the ready should an opportunity to test our theories arise. As for its use to you, you may recall that during our previous visit, the nodes here granted access to restricted functions, having identified me as being of royal blood. And armed with the spirit vessel, I posit that they will do the same for you, even in the absence of, well, the rest of me. It seemed worth a try at least. Agreed. We will take good care of it. To the flagship, then. I love how unsociable Justinian is. People are like, hey, you want to hang out? And he's just like, no. And people are like, oh, you have other plans? And he's like, no. I mean, what a mood, though. I wish I could say that to people. Let us split up and search the flagship for the node that controls Tiamat's restraints. Yes, you are. But should you find a likely candidate, do not be tempted to make any adjustments. It would not do to accidentally release some manner of experimental monstrosity, nor less Tiamat herself in her current state. Our objective at this stage is simply to identify the relevant node or nodes. Once we have learned what we can, we should reconvene and compare notes prior to proceeding. Baby boy. Beep boop. Warning. Scheduled dragon restraint maintenance is due in minus 2020 years. Failure to verify system integrity may result in unscheduled specimen release. Bzz. Friction between metallic components detected. Temperature increasing to critical levels. Please replace damaged parts or retrieve to a safe distance. Bzzz. Data link with Delta Cordon broken. Possible cause, intruder interference. Advise deployment of automated combat units. Proceed. Let's not. little Easter egg. Alfie. I'm afraid Estinian and I have little to show for our efforts. Did you find anything? Yes, a chirruping note which spontaneously warned me about neglecting the dragon restraints. Spontaneously, you say? Well, that does sound promising. Almost suspiciously so, in fact. But then you were in possession of the spirit vessel. I dare say it is indeed the note of which Graha spoke. And it was chirping, you say? Very well, let us take a closer look. Beep. Do you wish to operate the dragon restraint mechanisms? Beep boop. You do not have the requisite access privilege. Operation of the dragon restraint mechanism may only be undertaken by the chief technologist and members of the royal family. Or those with a vessel full of royal blood, perhaps. Beep. New user detected. Commencing biometric authentication. Boop. Authentication complete. User identified as member of the royal family. Please state your name. Estinian Wormblood. Very funny. But if that thing speaks my name, I shall see that it never speaks again. Use your own. Dwashe Mumafeu, in case you've forgotten. Boop! Username changed. Welcome, Dwashe Mumafeu. You may operate the dragon restraint mechanisms when ready. Beep boop! Error! Unable to disengage restraints of the specimen Tiamat. A system update is required. A system update? What do you suppose it is asking of us? To smash it to pieces. Nah. I could hazard a guess. Well, that's more than I can say. Confounded bloody thing. User agitation detected. Initiating guidance program. Boop. In order to operate the restraint mechanism, I require access to the central control system. However, I am unable to establish a link to said system due to the obsolescence of my own software. The issue can be resolved by applying a system update using the corresponding terminal located within the flagship. So, can this thing release the restraints or not? It can, but only once it has received the requisite system update, as far as I can tell. Until which time it'll float here spewing nonsense. User dissatisfaction detected. Initiating application protocols. Boop. I am here to help. Rest assured that I will be on hand to guide you through every step of the system update process. How gratifying. But I dare say we will fare better with guidance than without it. Justinian wants to smash that thing to pieces so bad it makes him look silly. Boop! Guiding user to terminal. This way, please. Boop, 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 boop. That's not the right way. Let's see. According to the terminal, the central control system is presently employing software version 56.135. Dare I ask which version you are employing? Why, software version 42.002, of course. Beep boop. Warning. Errors detected in the data management system. Estimated time required for update, 5 years, 1 day. That is rather longer than we were hoping. Aren't there any other options? For instance, using this terminal to operate Tiamat's restraints instead? Boop! The proposed method is indeed an option. Please be warned, however, that the procedure may have changed as a result of the system update, and my instructions may no longer be accurate. Well, I can't imagine it will have changed all that much. As long as we pay due attention to any discrepancies, I dare say we shall be able to muddle our way through. Don't bother trying to explain. Just tell me if we've made any progress. I would say so, yes. It does, however, require that I remain here to operate the terminal. I shall inform you via link pro once I am ready to release the shackles. It might be best if you left the spirit vessel with me. I may yet have use for it. Rest assured I will be certain to return it to G'raha Tia once this is over. Just a little more work and Tiamat will be free. But before we go any further, there's something I would know. When Tiamat and her kin fought against the Allegan Empire, both sides were but dancing to the tune of the Ascians. And it was the same in Ishgard, when they stoked the fires of conflict between man and dragon from the shadows. All that the Ascians touch turns to ash, and thus have you made it your mission to fight them. But there have been times when you tried to reach out to them instead, to find common ground. And so I must ask, what do you intend to do with Fandaniel? Will you try and reach out to him too? I will try, yes. And if that fails, I'll remember him. I see little point in reasoning with the wretch, or remembering him for that matter. But perhaps that's the difference between you and me. You see the good in people, even if it be but the faintest glimmer. I only hope you do not come to rue your benevolence. You think us unwise for viewing the world thus? Far from it. That has ever been your way, as I learned when we journeyed together with Iceheart. Yet the fact remains that there are some who view compassion as a weakness to be exploited. and there may come a time when you extend the hand of friendship only to wish that you had dealt the killing blow. So, save your mercy for those who deserve it. Well, we should be getting back to our task. If Alphino has things in hand here, I suggest we rejoin the others. I like Fan Daniel. Funny Daniel. Really like that they managed to get a good balance between really chilling villain and goofy little clown man. I just love his scenes with Xenos where you can just tell Xenos is so put off by him. It's like, what the fuck are you doing? This is not Tiamat. Going the wrong way. Estinian told me all is well, but nothing more. Honestly, it's like getting blood out of a stone with him. I take it from Alphino's absence that he's needed elsewhere. Well, that all sounds rather frustrating, but you got there in the end. While you were off talking to nodes, Graha and I were learning as much as we could about Tiamat's condition. Our readings confirmed that her ethereal balance leans strongly towards the umbral, as was the case with the kobolds. Therefore, all other things being equal, the treatment should work. The difficulty lies in the sheer quantity of ether which we must contend. Multiple applications of the treatment will inevitably be required if we are to reverse the effects of the tempering completely. Meaning I'll need all the ether I can get. Thank you in advance. Although this endeavor will ask much of us, we do have one reason to be optimistic. Namely that Tiamat shows no signs of fanatical devotion, suggesting a milder case of tempering than that suffered by the kobolds. Tiamat saw Bahamut as an equal rather than a god. Might that have made a difference? Now that you mention it, it very well might. She would not have believed it necessary to defer to his will. But enough talk. It's time to put our theories to the proof. Tell Alphino to disengage the restraints ethereal dampeners. I'm counting on you, Angelo. Yeah. Such warmth. The frost that shroudeth my soul doth begin to thaw. But what are these? Visions of days long forgotten, of war with men of Alag. Wherefore do such baleful memories return to me now? Could it be that the process of restoring her soul to its pre-tempered state is awakening ancient memories? Or might the opposite be true? If so, by helping her to recall the past, we may be able to speed her recovery. Tuashe, she trusts you. Speak to her. Ask her to tell you of times past. Tell me of Bahamut and the Ascians. Ah, Bahamut, my beloved. Would that the peace we found in Mericidia could have lasted for eternity. But alas, it was not to be. The Ascians saw to that. In all creation I know of none more wicked. It was at their behest that the men of Alec first came unto Mericidia, unto our home. The tale began when Bahamut and I left our father's side. We took wing in search of a place to make our eyrie. Beyond the southern ocean, we discovered a lush and fertile land. It would come to be known as Mericidia by the children of man, though many years were to pass before they crossed the seas. Upon our arrival, we were welcomed by the peaceful people of the forest, kin to the trees. Surrounded by nature's bounty, Bahamut and I found a place to raise our young. Fascinating. This correlates with the writings of the Charlayan scholar Rurusha. She posits that man first settled on the southern continent towards the end of the Second Astral Era. Correctly, it would appear. If only she were with us to hear the tale from Tiamat herself. Again, Angelo. When first the children of man arrived on our shores, no foot did they set in those places over which we held dominion. Such was their fear of dragonkind. And as they kept their distance, so did we let them be. Yet, as the days went by, ship after ship appeared upon the horizon, bearing ever more of their brethren, who divided the vast land amongst themselves. For a time they knew peace and prosperity, but as their numbers grew, the smaller their share came to seem, and soon they began to covet the territory of their fellows. Ere long, man fought man, blood answered with blood, and none could see an end to the strife, until one day they came to us. Recognizing our wisdom, they entreated us to intercede in their conflicts. Bahamut agreed, and with him presiding over the affairs of men, the land knew peace once more. Alas, those golden days of harmony too were fated to end. For the men of Alak slew my beloved, and I, in my rage and sorrow, heeded the envenomed words of the Ascians. The rest thou knowest only too well. But your tale doesn't have to end there. When you are free, we'll rid the world of the Ascians together, and you and your beloved will have justice. Fine sentiments, but you're almost spent. I'll keep watch from above. If the treatment fails, run. Thanks for the vote of confidence. I swear, when this is over... Keep going, Alice. The magic is working. Well, I knew this wasn't going to be easy. No patient could have prepared me for treating the great worm. But we're close. I can feel it. And while I've only got a few more drops of ether left to give, with yours and Graha's, this will work. And I believe I speak for the both of us when I say that you may take as much as you require. Careful, I might hold you to that. Alright, here I go. Go, Alice!
No! I'm almost there!
We're helping you, girly! It's Baby Gay Appreciation Day!
This is it, Angelo!
Yes, I feel it. The icon's grip groweth weak.
Did it work?
We won't know for certain until the shackles are removed.
Answer me this, children of man. Can my kindred be saved in like manner?
Many have been subjected to the Allagan's dark arts, their flesh irrevocably altered. For such tortured souls, I fear there can be no salvation.
My children. Should you hearken unto my call, we shall fly together once more. But should you not, I shall grant you peace. Better to die than live as a tool of evil. You too would wish this, I know, and I shall do as I must.
When that time comes, you won't be alone. We'll stand by you.
Thou hast my gratitude, little one.
Alphino's ready. It's time.
Whee!
Do it. And let's hope the treatment worked as it should.
Big girl. Bahamut, my beloved. For vengeance and atonement I rise.
By the gods!
to...
Urianger, your timing could not be better. Understood, we're on our way. It's Bahamut. He's been sighted over Pagalthan.
How convenient.
He flies for the largest Amalja settlement in the region, at the head of a vast host, including dragons.
Did you hear all that, Alphino? You'd best rejoin your comrades. I'll make my own way. Our enemy awaits. Shall we?
He's gonna ride a dragon! I wanna ride a dragon! It's very girl boss of you. Well, I'm sure you're desperate to join Estinian and Tiamat in battle. 'Twould be wiser to gather the full strength of the Scions first. The foe we face demands no less. Will my wish ever go unfulfilled? We might find out in Endwalker. I have already sent word to the others. We are to rendezvous in Ul'dah, at the Hall of Flames. Let us collect Alphino and be on our way. Yay, it's finally empty. I love it when they teleport me where I need to go. Now, I know some of you could do with the rest, but I'm sorry to say that Telophoroi have other plans. Pagalthan is already under siege. Happily, the Immortal Flames arrived just in time to join the defensive effort, with Marshal Terrapin at their head. Well now, given the failure of the peace negotiations, I was uncertain how the Sultanate would respond. It is good to hear that Ul'dah has not abandoned the Amalja. Abandon them? Did we not profess to be their friends? Hey, Nanamo. Your Grace! Marshal Terrapin had made provisions for such an exigency and was ready to depart at a moment's notice. All that was required was the agreement of the Syndicate, each of whom voted in favor of intervention. Nor is Ul'dah alone in its resolve. The other Alliance nations have likewise dispatched their troops to Pagalthan. Yet even with our combined strength, we shall be sorely tested, for we face not only the might of an Imperial Legion, but Lunar Bahamut and his draconic horde besides. Tiamat's children. Fight as we may, victory is by no means assured. But not all of the omens are grim. Our forces report that despite their proximity to Lunar Bahamut, none of the Amalja show any signs of tempering. Strange. What primal would turn down a chance to claim new thralls? Unless it is incapable of doing so. Primals are not one to serve a master, Ascian or otherwise. It may well be that Lunar Bahamut differs in some fundamental manner from those we have previously encountered. If that were true, anyone could fight them. And Dwasha and the others like her wouldn't have to shoulder the burden alone. Be that as it may, Lunar Bahamut remains an incalculably powerful foe whom our soldiers will struggle to best through mere force of arms. With the aid of the Scions, however, I believe they will fare rather better, assuming, that is, you are ready to take the field. An airship awaits to bear you to the front. Pray set forth as soon as you are able. Okay. Do you smell that in the air? I smell a dungeon. I, meanwhile, shall continue to coordinate our forces. Till next we meet, may the 12 bless and keep you. It was kind of her to speak with us personally. You may be certain she has no shortage of other responsibilities. Well, I for one am inclined to do as her grace requests. Lest we forget, Arnvald and Fordola are in Pagothan on reconnaissance. The sooner we save the day, the better their chances. Indeed. To the airship, then. Airship landing. There we go. Yellow. Greetings, we've been expecting you. But say the word and we shall depart for Pagothan at once. Alright. Let's go to Pagothan with other players. Last dungeon of Shadowbringers. Let's go. Let's go. Come on, healer, wake up. Healer, wake up. Thank you. Yeah, Tiamat! Ascian vermin, you shall torment my children no longer. Let's go! Okay, aren't we impatient? I fucking hate healers that do this. Just say, can you pull more, please? Instead of pulling me forward. Rude ass bitch. You were rude to me, and now you get no mitigation. Oh. want me to pull more? You want me to pull more? You want me to pull more? I'll go wall to wall. I don't care. The reason I don't pull everything on the fucking map is because I can't fucking see otherwise. What do you want me to do? We have a black mage. Boing. Still don't know what that noise is. Put him on the pole, you dummy. Sorry for getting tilted already. I need to calm down. I'm eager to see it. That was the wrong button. Home trap. Now I need another burger. I need to give my people back to stab at. to fending. I do like the gear from here, so I guess I'll need it.
What took you so long?
Hey, look at them, they're
The
fighting!
Amalt are in trouble. Let's split up.
Whee! Very well, I shall fly to their aid. What? Yeah, okay, you wanna go forward, beast. Yeah, I just think it's super annoying, especially if you don't talk at all in chat. And it's just like, okay, what are you doing, my guy? Like even
no,
like
you don't.
whole wall to wall, please, would suffice. Yes, Tiamat! Woo! Look at that! My poor children, I shall free you from the pain. You would lend us your aid? Then let's crush this accursed war machine. Up. Preparing to fire. And stand in the fucking middle. Once the way is clear, strike at the enemy's heart. Deactivating matchstick field. who's collecting bones now. Kill it 2 rounds. There we go. You fight well. Our brethren will hear of your brave deeds. I did this dungeon recently, but I don't remember what class I was playing. I might have been playing healer. I will call unto my children. The icon waiteth beneath the heavens. My children shall bear thee to them. Whee! Yay, I'm riding a dragon! But not Tiamat. I want to ride Tiamat. Yippee! If I'm an agreeable little lad, she'll give me a lollipop. What are you doing, you annoying motherfucker? This healer will not get any comms from me to this day. It's so annoying. It's like I'm doing shit and then this healer just pulls me out of my combo. If it's not going fast enough for you, then you should have played tank. Tilted poggers. Well, they get to wait for me to watch the cutscene, so fuck them. Telotherium, Lunar Bahamut. Big roar! Whoa! Fight! Go, Stinian, go! Terraflare! Cry about it. Boing. Stay in. Akmorin. You know, at least this person knows what they're doing. That would be the cherry on top. Oh. Whoops. LOL. Phone check. Yeah. You know what to do with that? Get out, get out, get out, get out. What the fuck? Oh, shit! In the middle! Ba, 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 ba. Oh, Akmarin. Woo-ha-ha-ha! Seeing Akmarin always gives me flashbacks to the first time I did the Nidhogg fight. Oh, there's so much shit. Lunar flare. Get out. Yep, there we go. Poggers. We did it. Oh, nice to do a dungeon you're not nervous for. Oh, I guess it goes to... Ah. Quick and easy. Children of man, the shade of my beloved is no more, and I shall be forever in your debt. By your deeds are we set free, and free we shall remain, as long as I draw breath. Never again shall the dragons of Mericidia hearken to the lies of the Asians. This I vow. Bye, Tiamat.
leaders. The dragons chose their friends well. Long have our peoples waged war, but no more. Your fallen lie beside our own. By our words and deeds shall we honor their sacrifice.
We would be proud to call you our allies.
The enemy of our enemy is our friend. And you have proven yourselves worthy of our trust. It is the Garleans who are deserving of our fury. I shall see that my brethren learn the truth of this day, and rally as many as possible to the cause, till we meet again.
And thus did we make allies of the Amalja.
It would certainly seem that way. The Sultana will be pleased. Let's go and give her the good news, shall we?
Oh boy. Sometime earlier, inside the Pagalthan Tower.
What in Ralga's name happened here?
The gods only know. But you can bet these poor sods aren't here by choice.
Quickly! We've got to get them free!
Get back!
No! What have I done?
It's too late for them! We're leaving, now!
Lunar Ifrit?
No! No! Don't you dare! We came together and we're leaving together!
Uh-oh. While it would be too much to hope that we have seen the last of Fandaniel, we have dealt his schemes a telling blow this day, and that alone is cause to celebrate. And celebrate I will, when we have received word of Arenvald's safe return. About that. Standing around here worrying isn't going to help matters. Come, we must discuss the day's event with Pippin and her grace. Brave scions! Would that I could treat you to a hero's welcome, but I bear urgent news from the frontistery. Your grace, whatever is the matter? As our troops withdrew from Pakothan, they came upon 2 scouts sent to the nearby tower. I have yet to hear the full account, but it seems that one of them, your friend I believe, had been wounded and was being dragged away by the other. Oh no. I must go. Forgive me, your grace. Can you tell us aught of Arenvald's condition, your grace? The wounded scout. Not save that it is grave. The chirurgeons tend to him even as we speak. The infirmary must be inundated with the wounded. If all of us go, we'll only get underfoot. Dwashe, Estinian, would you mind going after Alphino? He may need some support from someone other than me. Very well. Thank you. The rest of us will see that the relevant people know what took place in Pagothan. Come on, then. I took the biggest detour of my life, I think. But that's okay. Another one come to see the lad in silver armor. Master Demelio is attending to him as we speak. If you would be so kind as to wait. What did Master Demelio say? Tell me his exact words. Let the chirurgeons do their work. But you're right. Forgive me. When we said our farewells to Arenvald, I was afraid that something like this might happen. But now that it has, all we can do is wait.
Fordola, have you been waiting here all this time?
We have done what we can. The rest is up to him.
May we see him?
I do not think that wise. You must let him sleep.
Thank you for bringing him back. He owes you his life. I just wish I had been there. Perhaps, I don't know, perhaps I could have...
Could have what? Got tempered? Don't flatter yourself. You can't save everyone. No one can. Not even the warrior of bloody light. People die all the time, for no good reason. And those who take up the sword die quicker than most. If you're going to shed a tear every time a soldier falls on the battlefield, you'd best stay away. It's no place for the weak of heart.
Don't be mean to my boy.
It may be that victory cannot be won without cost. But all life is precious, and I refuse to shrug at its loss.
All life is precious! Oh, you need to grow up, little man. Before your sparkling ideals get everyone killed.
You're right. He is idealistic. But the world has more than its fair share of realists, like you and me. It's people like him who dare to dream that things could be better, and make it happen against all the odds. They are the ones whose names live on forever. The heroes.
The battlefield's littered with would-be heroes. At this rate, you'll lot'll be next. And what'll become of your precious dreams then? They'll be gone. Like dust on the wind.
Man.
Dreams worth fighting for don't die so easily.
Could you have imagined in the Heavensward time that we would ever like Estinian so much? He was so hateable, and now I like him. I know. There's nothing more I can do here. Come, let us rejoin the others. Her Grace invites the Scions of the Seventh Dawn to join her in the Fragrant Chamber. Your comrades have already arrived. Will you three be joining them? We will. Yeah. It was kind of awful. Cheers for us, I see.
Your Grace, pray forgive us our lateness.
Think not of that. I understand a close comrade of yours was wounded in the line of duty. Arenvold. It was at the Alliance's behest that he risked all, and we are grieved to hear of his condition. Rest assured, he will receive the finest care our chirurgeons can provide. On that you have my word. Now, we would share with you the findings of the mission. Pippin, pray relate to our guests the details of Fordola's account.
First Bahamut, now Ifrit. Or Lunar Ifrit, as Fandaniel would doubtless have it.
'Tis now all but certain that the towers were conceived to facilitate the summoning of primals by those imprisoned within. Less certain is the means by which the Telophoroi constrain the wills of said entities to enact their designs in defiance of the pleas of their victims.
Mayhap they do not. If mere proximity to the towers is enough to make loyal servants of the Empire's mortal enemies, it stands to reason that the same is true for those held captive. They invoke their gods for the good of Garlemald, and in their disturbed state of mind, summon a primal whose form reflects their own alteration.
It all begins to make sense. Upon closer inspection, I realized that the towers bear a striking resemblance to a much larger structure which Urianger and I observed from afar during our visit to the Imperial capital. Assuming it too is capable of tempering those in its immediate vicinity, it would go some way to explain the swiftness with which the Telophoroi managed to rally so many Imperials to their cause.
While the situation in Garlemald is indeed troubling, I fear we have more immediate concerns. Ifrit was not the only primal summoned. At approximately the same time, observers at several other towers bore witness to the emergence of further such entities. For a blessing, none appear to wield aught approaching the destructive power of Bahamut, and the Grand Companies are moving to deal with the threat even as we speak.
The Grand Companies, Your Grace, is that wise?
Though we are aware that the task will not be easy, we would call upon the Scions only as a last resort. Pray, conserve your strength for now. After all, it was not so very long ago that you rid us of Bahamut. On which note, I am pleased to report that our talks with the Amalja have reached an agreeable conclusion. They have pledged their full support to our cause. It is our hope that this historic agreement will encourage other tribes to join us at the negotiating table. And I know that I speak for all of the Allied leaders when I say that we will welcome them with open arms at such time as they do. Of course, this was only made possible by the feats of heroism performed at Paglfan. Moreover, we shall not allow the sacrifices of those fallen in battle to have been made in vain. As hope leads to victory, shall victory lead to a new dawn for Eorzea.
May these words ever be our guide, Your Grace.
Now, if you will forgive me, I must consult with the Syndicate on the matter of our new allies' integration. Till next we meet, my friends, I bid you safe travels and blessed respite.
I'm dropping everything. Right then, unless anyone has any objections, I think it's about time we return to the Rising Stones. That includes you, Alphino. Ironvault is in good hands here. Of course, you would doubtless mock me for pacing about the infirmary. Let us retire then, that we might regain our strength and readiness for the coming challenges. If we are all in agreement then, I shall let Kral know to expect us. A hot bath and a hearty meal shouldn't be beyond the arranging with the time available. It will be good to be home. I've some thinking to do. Yes, I'll try asking him. And thank you, I shall look forward to it. Our comrades eagerly await our return, and Krile in particular has a few matters she is keen to discuss, one of which concerns you, Estinian, believe it or not. You will join us, won't you? Fine. Really? I thought you said you were avoiding that Baldician woman. If I refused, she would only pursue me. Let's get this over with, shall we? They finally cracked him. Ooh. This is the last mission, so we might have some more we might have some time for the next patch. I don't know if we'll be able to finish it though. That will be the final one before Endwalker.
Welcome back. I expect you must all be exhausted. Ere you take your rest, however, I would beg a moment of your time.
Yeah, it's moving quick now, huh?
Thanks to Arenvold's selfless efforts, we may now be confident that we understand the function of the towers. But many questions remain regarding the reason for the summonings, and what lurks behind the looming edifice in Garlemald. Until such questions are answered, we will struggle to devise an effective strategy for thwarting the Telophoroi's stated aim. Nothing less than the destruction of this star. And so, given the gravity of the situation, I move that we petition the aid of Sharlayan.
"'Tis possible the ancient knowledge preserved within their archives may hide a clue to our enemy's methods. But given Sharlayan's established policy of non-intervention, our former colleagues are not like to aid us in its discovery.
Oh, I well remember what they're like. The Forum's barefaced refusal to assist you in the days prior to the calamity must rank as Sharlayan's most shameful act since the Exodus. But were the final days to be reenacted, it would spell doom for us all. Surely even they cannot turn a blind eye to that. I trust we are all of the same mind on this matter. Urgent as it seemed, I took the liberty of petitioning the Alliance for leave to act as Eorzea's emissary, and have since received their blessing.
I presume your role as a student of Baldessian will carry some weight with the Forum?
One can but hope. If truth be told, our organization has been a shadow of its former self ever since the disappearance of the Isle of Val. But the name does still retain some degree of prestige. I only pray it will be enough. If there are no objections, I shall depart for Sharlayan at once. But before I do, I should also mention the other matter to which I would devote some time during my stay. After hearing what transpired in the first, I began to question the true nature of Hydaelyn's blessing, a topic I have discussed at some length with Y'shtola.
We were wondering, when was the last time Hydaelyn spoke to you directly?
Near the end of the Dragonsong War. Which was a while ago.
When you regained her blessing, was it not? But never since. Not in all your time in the First, when you faced the Unsundered, the very heart of Zodiark.
History shows us that Hydaelyn is able to awaken the echo in her chosen, convey her will directly, and grant the blessing of light. To our knowledge, however, she has not sought to intervene in man's affairs for some considerable time.
Might not the explanation for that lie with her choice of champion? Mayhap she is content to trust in her judgment.
Mayhap she is. But following my initial discussion with Krile, I made inquiries of my own, and as far as I am able to tell, Hydaelyn has not made her will known to anyone.
During my time in the First, the Oracle of Light spoke to me through Reen. But that was not the will of Hydaelyn. It was Minfilia herself.
Indeed. And while she and Hydaelyn were inextricably linked, Minfilia yet acted of her own volition. A messenger, yes, but one who spoke with her own voice.
I wonder, could Hydaelyn's silence suggest the presence of some disruptive force, perhaps? Some obstacle to communication? While I share Urianger's high opinion of your conduct, I see no reason why she would deny you her guidance altogether. Then again, who am I to say? The fact is, we simply don't know. But if the explanation is to be found anywhere, I can think of worse places to look than the archives of Sharlayan, and their research on the Ethereal Sea in particular. Resolved though I am to go, believe me when I say that I take no pleasure in the thought of leaving you a member short. Now of all times. Estinian, we stand on the eve of a struggle that will decide the fate of this star. One in which we Scions may play a telling part, yet we are but few in number. And so I must ask you again, will you join us?
Please help. Puppy eyes.
You see the world the way you want it to be. I see the world the way it is. You are idealistic to a fault. But I know you would never turn your back on those in need. Never close your eyes to their suffering. And somehow, your deeds lend truth to your words, giving the lie to my doubts in so doing. I have seen others draw strength from your belief. In Ishgard, in Alamigo. You inspired them to stand up and fight. To win, no less. And even when you lost those you held dear, you carried their spirit with you and made their memory your guiding light. The burden of so many hopes and dreams would be too heavy for most to bear. But you bear it willingly, as you have shown me. Some dreams are too important to let go. If you have need of my strength, it's yours. After all you've done, how could I refuse?
Yay! He's no longer unemployed.
Thank you, Estinian. Whatever challenges await us, I shall not falter. You have my word.
We got 2 new scions in rapid succession.
And now, I may bid you farewell. Safe in the knowledge that all is as it should be. In this little corner of the world, at least.
You will be sorely missed. Tread warily in Sharlayan, and do try not to let the Forum embroil you in their politics. A forlorn hope, I know, given the individuals involved.
I shall do my very best. Farewell.
Bike rail. I love you. Meanwhile, in the Imperial Palace, more clown time. Yay.
Well, does this one meet with your approval? Apparently not. Or could it be that you're still upset about the dragons?
You are unwise to remind me of so costly a failure. It will not affect our plans, I trust.
Oh, hardly at all. Though, admittedly, the chances of us being able to procure any more Mericidian dragons are rather slimmer following Tiamat's reappearance. Oh, but the seeds have been sown, my lord. We have only to wait for them to quicken. Speaking of preparations, is it safe to assume that you will be ready to control you-know-what?
The hour draws nigh. This nation, forged for Ascian ends, will finally prove its worth.
A mighty empire, now no more than an instrument of this star's destruction. What a pleasure it will be to put it to use. Which brings me back to our earlier topic. My lord, while I appreciate that it is not an easy decision, it really is past time you chose your weapon.
There is one that I have been meaning to test.
Well, well, not quite what I was expecting. Though I will say, it does seem rather apt.
Ooh, what could it be? Well, it looks like I'm going to have a busy few moons. Not that they ever seem to be anything but. Thancred's got me dispatching troops to every corner of the realm, which is not to say I don't trust the Alliance, because I do. But when it comes to putting down primals, nobody does it better than us. Well, then you lot more accurately. You won't catch me trading blows with a primal in the near future. But for every fell fiend you vanquish, there's countless meals to arrange, baths to fill, sheets to wash, stores to replenish, and the list goes on. Which is where I come in. And gladly, mind you, it's the least I can do to support the scions who risk life and limb, like poor Arenvald. I wish there was something we could do for him, but we'll just have to settle for saying the odd prayer and keeping a roof over our heads. It wouldn't do to have him come back to a complete shambles now, would it? But that's enough of my rambling. Off you go and get some rest. If there are any developments, I promise you'll be the first to know. Whoa! Well, alright, let me take a look-see real quick. This is done. Okay. Ooh. Let me go check real quick. Oh, he's so cute. I love that. I love the way you drew the monkey. Looks very cool. Yeah. I bet. It's really nice. Alright. Yeah, should we just keep going? Fuck it, right? Okay, okay. No problem. Ah, Dweshe, you're looking well. I take it you managed to squeeze in some rest. If you came hoping for tidings from Kral, I'm afraid we're still waiting, but we do have some odd scraps of news to share. Scraps, she says. Lunar primals have been popping up all over the place, but the Alliance has the situation well in hand, thanks in no small part to Hoary Boulder and the others. Meanwhile, talks with the Beast Tribes are going even better than expected. Encouraged by Ulda's progress with the Amalja, Gridania has opened negotiations with the Ixal, believe it or not. All of which is obviously very encouraging, but with the Telophoroi still out there, it's not as if we can afford to lower our guard. Begging your pardon, but I come bearing an invitation from the Alliance. A council meeting is due to be held in Alamigo, and your attendance is humbly requested. We were just talking about the Alliance. May I ask what's on the agenda? I believe the intention is to share news of recent developments and discuss what measures might be taken to combat the Telophoroi. In concert with our new allies, the Beast Tribes have also been invited. It is hoped that they will join us in the fight against our common foe. So the Alliance would bring all of the Beast Tribes into the fold in a single stroke. An ambitious plan given the delicacy of the negotiations, but mayhap an expedient one, considering the threat we face. Indeed, my lady, and for their part I am told that Beast Tribes have agreed to attend. If the Scions too are present, all of Eorzea will be represented. To arrange such a meeting must have been quite an undertaking, not only diplomatically, but practically. Pray inform the Alliance that we would be honored to participate. We shall make for Alamigo without delay. Then I will bear your answer thither with all haste. We look forward to receiving you at the Royal Palace. Well, now that we've accepted the invitation, who exactly is going to attend? I move that you and Y'shtola lead our contingent. Given how long you have worked to end summoning, it is only right that you be present for what promises to be a historic moment. I think we've all played our part in that little endeavor, don't you, Dwashe? Haha, yeah. All present may rightfully claim a seat, I do quite agree. But by your leave, I believe I shall remain here and lend what assistance I can to the coordination of our defensive efforts. I'm not coming either. Emmerich will be there, and I'd rather not be interrogated. Very well then. While those with a mind to hold the fort get on with holding it, I suggest the rest of us make for Alamigo. Shall we? Let's go to Alamigo. Yeah, no problem. Enjoy lunch. Hope you're making something nice. I'm gonna say we're either going to... Ooh, bagel time. Oh yeah. We're either going to finish this mission or go until the half hour is over, either which comes first. We have been expecting you. While some few guests have yet to arrive, the Alliance leaders are all present. Shall I show you in? So many people. Yay, Pixie, Nath, Sahagin, Ixal, Vanu Vanu.
Esteemed guests, you honor us with your presence. As there is much to discuss, let us begin.
Information on our taken brethren you have, yes? Hear it we would! beyond forgiveness these featherless ones are! With rivers of blood shall they pay. Freed our people must be!
We too would see your kin liberated. But ere we attempt their rescue, we must first find a means to negate the risk of tempering. Without that, we will be unable even to approach the towers, let alone contend with their defenders.
If all else fails, I've always found cannonballs quite effective.
And what of the prisoners? Would you see them slaughtered?
Think for a moment. Ponder, consider, think. If Merlwyb truly intended to bombard the towers, she would have done so by now. Remember, we came here to find a solution together, did we not?
Y'shtola spoke of defenders. I but offered a means to clear a path, should you require it.
Given the enemy's capabilities, we will all need to play our part if we are to have any chance of success. For if any here should give less than their best, it will be to the cost of every living being on this star.
A paragon, the Empire, our very gods. How can we hope to prevail against such odds?
That our foe is formidable, none would deny. But our strengths are many and varied. In this chamber, I see masters of strategy, masters of magic, masters of the land, the air, and the sea. And together, there is nothing in creation we cannot overcome. I beg your pardon?
What is it, Soulwalker? Do not express your passion thus. A little pretty without deals, perhaps? Suffice it to say, I am proud to be counted amongst Eorzea's finest. We Sahagin will play our part.
That mic
We
would have been
kobolds
so
have
wet.
not forgotten the crimes the Overdwellers committed against us in the past. But today we look to the future, as allies united in purpose.
Ah! Make mock of the Ixal, the Paragon does! Turns kin into puppets! Pits brother against brother! Free them from his grasp, we shall!
As Patriarch Zadar will attest, the Scions have granted us a means to free your brethren from their thraldom. This boon we will gladly share, that your people might never be enslaved again.
We accept! We accept!
Praise me!
It's so nice to have peace.
It's taken a while, but I do believe we might be one step closer to a world without primals. Would that Minfilia were here to see it.
We still have a long way to go, and we're going to need a lot more Porksies. But we're moving in the right direction.
If I may have your attention, there is one other point I would like to raise. As we can all agree, freeing those held captive must take precedence over every other concern. But experience has taught us that none save those with the capacity to resist tempering can hope to enter the towers unscathed. And even once inside, a still greater threat may yet await them, that which we call a primal. Needless to say, if we are to succeed, engaging with such foes can only ever be considered a last resort. And so I move that we seek to prevent them from being summoned in the first place.
Yes! Both prayer and ether are needed for the ritual. Should either one be denied, the summoning would fail.
Indeed. And so we must endeavor to discover the source of the ether on which the process depends. Do so, and it may present a way to halt the summonings, or perhaps even neutralize the towers entirely.
A promising proposal. While you are conducting your investigations, however, we will need to remain vigilant, lest the Telophoroi commit further abductions and summon primals ere we have the means to prevent them. To stand a better chance of keeping our enemy at bay, we would do well to coordinate our defensive efforts, sending reinforcements to assist our neighbors when needed.
We Amalja would have been overwhelmed were it not for our newfound allies. But say the word, and we shall come.
I see we are all in accord. But what are we to call this proud fellowship of ours? I submit that the honor of naming it should go to the scion whose brave efforts have done so much to unite Eorzea. What say you, my friend?
I would call it the Grand Company of Eorzea, which is what Alphinaud proposed all that time ago.
But that's the name I...
Yeah.
A fine choice, for there is none here who does not love Eorzea.
Aye, in that we shall ever be united.
United in our gratitude for the realm that gave us life.
Then let it be recorded that on this day, the Grand Company of Eorzea was born.
Taking inspiration from my baby boy. Oh, he's gonna cry. No, don't cry.
How long have we dreamed of this moment? And now that it's here, Oh, forgive me. Might we speak outside?
It's okay, baby boy. Well, now that we are out of earshot of the other delegates, I hope you will forgive me if I speak my mind. Let me begin by saying that I have dreamed of this day since the moment I first set foot upon these shores, and that I was as heartened as anyone to see the peoples of Eorzea pledging their solidarity. Yet even as they uttered their declarations, all I could think about was the conflict to come, of the sacrifices that would be made, and of the lives lost, inevitabilities that I still struggle to accept. But at least now there is hope. The formation of the Grand Company of Eorzea is the first step, the first of many. Many and more. Elder Seats here, how might we be of service? I seek Master Alphinaud's assistance in a matter involving Gridania's neighbors, the Sylphs. I know that you and yours have long kept a weather eye upon the crystal trade, the better to predict the coming of primals, and so you will be familiar with the Sylphs of the Ashcrown Consortium. through their dealings, they have cultivated relations not only with the city-states, but many other communities besides. Communities such as the Beast Tribes. Just so. It is our hope that we may make use of the self-established lines of communications to coordinate the efforts of our new fellowship. Yet there remain certain practical differences between a trade consortium and a grand company. If the cells are to perform their task effectively, they will require the counsel of one versed in the operational aspects of an armed force. An armed force founded with the selfsame goal in mind, no less. The Crystal Braves, yes. Forgive me, Master Alphino. I know that it was a painful chapter in your life, but the experience may yet be made to serve the realm. In my hubris, I plotted a course for the Crystal Braves which stretched far beyond the Order's initial conception. One intended to pave the way for the founding of what I intended to call the Grand Company of Eorzea. But my plans all came to naught. Built upon a frail foundation of lofty ideals, the Order was doomed from the first to collapse under the weight of more worldly interests, and I have no wish to see this new endeavor suffer the same fate. Mayhap I ask too much of you. Not at all. You may count upon my assistance for what little it is worth. By your leave, I shall prepare a report, including a list of recommendations drawing on the lessons I learned from the failures of the Crystal Braves. You have my gratitude, Master Alphino, and my trust. When your report is ready, pray share it directly with the Sils. With your guidance and the earnest efforts of every goodly soul gathered here this day, I have no doubt but that our fellowship shall emerge from the shadow of the Telophoroi and flourish. Until next we meet, my friends. Before committing to anything to writing, there are a number of people whose thoughts I should like to hear. Former Braves, you understand? Might you join me in seeking them out? As if you have to ask. Thank you. As someone who witnessed the Order's rise and fall, yours would be a reassuring presence. I'll join you. If you're planning to canvass the opinions of your former comrades, it will be a lot quicker if we share the task of questioning them. They mayhap G'raha can lend a hand as well. I shall accompany Thancred back to the Rising Stones. Between us, I dare say we should be able to provide an accurate enough account of the day's events. We should be glad of your company, G'raha. I shall explain the details on the way. Bye! So, what's the plan, brother mine? Before discussing the task at hand, I should probably admit that the report I proposed is largely written. Not long after that fateful day in Ul'dah, I penned a detailed account of the organization's history, from the events that led to its inception to the failings that brought about its demise. This I did primarily as a means of taking some semblance of responsibility. Never did I imagine that it might later be referred to by those seeking to form a similar organization. And while I made every attempt to be objective, the account was mine alone. Its events viewed from my singular perspective. For it to be of use, however, it must be broadened to encompass the viewpoints of all involved. Only then can it answer what seems to me to be the crucial question, namely, why? After the Crystal Braves disbanded, did some members choose to remain with us while others did not? I see. You think the answer will tell us something about the nature of the ties that bind our new Grand Company together. And that this knowledge might help us to prevent it from falling apart when those bonds are inevitably tested. That is my hope, yes. But the questions I would ask are uncomfortable to some. As the former commander of the Crystal Braves, I doubt that those who abandoned the cause would welcome my inquiries. Then Graha and I will just have to try. Meanwhile, the two of you can talk to the ones who kept the faith. Fine suggestion. Have care, however. Certain of my former comrades are of questionable character, so keep your wits about you, and let us reconvene in Gradania later on. If you have no objections, I have in mind to begin by speaking with Rial and Alian. If memory serves, the two of them will be attending an intelligence briefing at Castrum Orient. Let us seek them out there. Alright. I hope this will be quick. Or we can just leave this for next time. Yeah, let's just in case it goes on super long, let's just leave it until next time. Woo! Ooh, we had some really good progress today. So yeah, super good stream. I'm gonna go to the stream ending screen. Yeah, we're gonna be able to finish up Shadowbringers next time. And probably make a start with Endwalker. I am really excited about that. I do really want to do the Eden Raid series, but I don't really want to wait for Endwalker because the Eden Raid is probably gonna take like that's probably gonna take at least 4 streams, and I am raring to go with the with Endwalker, so we're just gonna start Endwalker and then finish it up and then do all the optional content that I want to do afterwards. But Endwalker's probably gonna take a good amount of time because, I mean, right now we're on stream 18 for Shadowbringers, though we did do some optional content, but Endwalker's probably going to be as much, if not more. And yeah. There's no replay function yet for the patches after Endwalker, so we're just going to have to wait until that comes out to play that. But alright, thank you for being here. My mind is made up. We're just going to start Endwalker next time. And yeah. Next stream's going to be on Monday again because I have to work evenings the rest of the week. And yeah, I will see you next time. Goodbye, goodbye.